Satnam, Satnam. Good morning, everybody. Today is the full moon in Aries, and I want to talk about the energetic of the stars as it is in our body. You know, staying with this theme of our our spiritual anatomy. Even the stars, especially the moon, are residing in the meridians and the nadis and the places specific in our body. So one of the places is the chin. In Kundalini Yoga, this is where the emotional center is. You'll notice in creating self-love, in some of the more challenging kriyas, the gaze is not at the tip of the nose. It's not in the center of the forehead. It is at the chin. That's an interesting one to play with, and we will be playing with that today. We're not going to do self-love kriya, but we are going to do a kriya that requires looking at the chin to activate this full moon energy. The other place is in our hands. So when we are doing a kriya where we're saying hud, 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 when we hit the palms, that is the pinky side palm up, that meaty part from the wrist to about mid-palm, on the side of your palm where the pinky is, that real fleshy little mound, there's one that's by the thumb, and then it sort of goes in, and then the other side that is directly under the pinky, but towards the wrist, that is also a moon center. So when we're talking about the moon center, what are we talking about? Moon energy, right? In the feminine body, there's actually 9 moon centers. And the way we attune to them in Kundalini, it's way too much to get into right now, but it starts on intuition. And basically what it is these moon centers move just like the moon every 2.5 days, where you have to, the work is figuring out where that energy is initially. Once you figure that out, then you move it every 2.5 days. And each place in the feminine body where the moon resides has different aspects. So the moon in our body. There's also a meridian on the upper palate that is directly connected to moon energy. Moon energy is the feminine reflection of the greatest power in our sky, the sun. The moon is not lesser than the sun. It's different. The earth absolutely could not survive without our moon. Our moon is what keeps us in a safe orbit to the sun. Our moon, as it fluctuates between new and full, pulls and regulates the bodies of water on Earth. And as we are made anywhere from 70 to about 80% water, that reflection and movement of fluid, of water, also moves us because we're mostly made of water. Having said that, the waters are directly correlated to what we call emotion. Taking away the idea of personality and the human dysfunction that we often, or celebration that we often associate with emotion, breaking the word down to emotion, energy in motion. We really need to think of our emotions as that. Energy in motion. So today, the moon will be full. It will have a certain aspect and personality as it will be in Aries. It will be in direct opposition of the sun, Libra. So now we come back to you. When you were born, there was a stamp of where these energies, where your moon is, where your sun is, the energy it was held. Was it cardinal? Cardinal is initiating and directing and beginning, Or was it mutable, being able to circulate and hold many things at once? Or was it fixed? Was it stable and one-pointed? Then the element, was it water, earth, fire, air, or ether? And then that all comes down into a house, because the element and the energy of the personalities of God, right? And the personalities are Aries, Pisces, Capricorn, Aquarius, Leo, all the signs, okay? And each of those personalities rules over an aspect of our life. Aries being the ego, how we are seen, how we initiate. Yes? And we just keep moving through that. Aquarius rules hopes and dreams, groups, the cultivation of society. Scorpio runs runs the eighth house, what is hidden, what is earned, as far as not money, but like inheritance. You can see what I'm saying. So the personalities of God is in this wheel, and this wheel is living in you. And so this means that today, your moon center, your sun center is going to be very activated. The places in your life in which the personality of Aries and Libra is going to be teaching you something. The reason there is so much chaos and fighting and even death on full moons is because humanity has not been taught about this spiritual anatomy, right? So we, in our physical body, have a spiritual anatomy, and this physical anatomy relates to the anatomy of the sky. Today, the full moon is at 14 degrees. Your body, the ether, consciousness itself is numbers. It's a mathematical equation that is always functioning and always flowing. So even in your body and the sky, it is about the numbers. Every letter, every tone we make is actually a numerical equation. When we understand this, we can use numerical equation. Like even if we're going to chant sa re sa sa, the equation of those vowels and consonants creates a cleansing in the chakra system. Everything is completely working together. And yet, from the beginning of our lives for sure, and at least a few thousand years, we have been taught to ignore all this. And that has been systematic. Because if we don't know this, then we can't harness the power that the powers over us are constantly harnessing for themselves and against us. Don't think of it as some horrible thing. It's, don't go down the hole or conspiracy theory, because you know what? It doesn't really matter in a sense, because as soon as you know this and you wake up to the mission of love, and that you are God and you are here to give as much as as much kindness, as much as your worldly goods as you can, give it away. And harness this power of the sun and the moon, the feminine and masculine aspect of the God force that is holding it all together. So today, relating back to that math, the sun and moon are at 14 degrees. So each of our planets move through the energetic bodies of the signs, and they are also held in the numbers that are the degrees. And the degrees also correspond with the different fluctuations that God's personality offers. So 14 is 1 Leo, 4 Aquarius, 1 and 4 together, 5 Gemini. So this means, I know it's a lot, but once you start thinking like this, like you can tell I'm such an Aquarius brain, like all I see is numbers. When I look at you, I see numbers, especially when I've done your readings. I'm like, oh God, I love your number 5. You are such a cool number 28. Anyway, and I can focus on the benefits of your equation, right? It's easier to be in life when you understand this, because when people are kind of poopy pants, you just realize, oh yeah, they're in the shadow of their equations. And then you also understand what you could feed the person in order for them to feel safe enough to drop the shadow and stand in the light with you. And this is our benefit to each other. When we offer that giving space for people to be the best version of themselves with us, they will start to feel it, heal it, and know it. And now they're not going to just be that with you. They're going to be less of a poopy pants with their husband or wife. They're going to be less of a poopy pants at work. It's a freaking perfect system. That's why don't get caught up in the scaredy pants powers that have tried to control us, because this is why we do Kundalini, is to wake up and realize, oh my gosh, the Dorothy moment, I always had all the power. Anyways, I keep getting sidetracked. Back to the moon. The moon and sun are at 14 degrees. So through self-love, 1, through self-love, we are healing where we belong. So there's going to be some slight breakdowns in your mind. I don't belong thinking that. Those thoughts lead me somewhere I don't want to go. That's going to be broken down and healed through self-love. The 1 and the 4 together, the 5, Gemini, my mind. This Aries moon is healing your mind through self-love and realizing the thoughts that no longer belong with you, so you can transcend the grief, the sorrow, the stuckness that you're in, and project yourself into a healed version of yourself, which starts with this moon energy in the mind. It starts in the mind. Okay? I love you. And the axis between Aries and Libra, by healing your mind, you're going to be better relating to the sun in Libra, your relationships. If we don't get the relationship right with ourselves, we will never have peaceful, loving relationships with the other. So join me today. I'm going to change up we're going to do the higher self meditation for the moon. However, I'm going to be using a recording that's called the Divine Sordashan Chakra Kriya by Dr. Michael Levry. So instead of Waheguru, it's going to be these different statements like God is good, good is God, God is strength, strength is God. So it's going to have this different, more Aries, more poignant, more deliberate lifting you up. And we're going to use different songs that are much more, we're going to deal with the 1 and the 4, breaking down, celebrating self-love, using the music to bring us through where we belong so that we can heal the mind for the Kriya of imagined disabilities. Then we'll chant the Mul mantra, go into Divine Sordashan. This is going to be a very powerful, and I'm going to tape it and put it on the portal and give it to you. So those that can't attend, you're going to get this. This is going to be a full moon higher self experience. And then, of course, I'm going to go into my class right after, and the class will be all about this Kriya and mantra it's called Antar Kriya. We use it in the full moon. And today is the full moon at 8:45. I don't know what I'm going to say. I love you so much. I will see you online or in person today. Have the best full moon experience. Be soft. The Aries energy is going to be hard. Soften. Don't judge yourself. If people say weird things that trigger you, know it's you talking to you. Be very interested in what doesn't go right, because the upgrade is right there in the problem. I love you. Satnam.